Hi, in this video I want to talk about some of the changes and adaptations that we've made to the CERT units here in CERT Brazil. Now in Unit 1 we haven't changed a lot of things. Obviously we will often provide the personal protective equipment and we'll explain that to them in the first unit. They will try it out, and if we are actually going to keep the equipment, it's not a kit that they will be taking home with them. One of the things I found out that's useful is to get these are just supermarket bags that were rather inexpensive, each one of them with a number on them. And so when people got their equipment, we'd get them to put it in their numbered bag, and then they would have the same equipment throughout the course. Now, as I mentioned when I talked about PPE, that we often use these softer and smaller gloves, particularly if we're working with the teen CERT courses. The kids often prefer them. Maybe a minimum of first aid equipment that they will be using, just bandages and dressings, and how we've made up our own triage tapes that they will use instead of the triage tickets or labels, which are much more expensive for us. Now that whole kit can just fit in the bag, and that particular course member will use that kit throughout the course. Now when we start, one of the things that I always consider to be very important is just to have a list of presents, or a list of everybody who's participating in every activity, so that we can make sure that everyone who's come, we haven't left anybody behind, particularly if we do practical activities. So I just made up a simple sign-in sheet, time in, time out, and we use that in all of our activities. I like this sort of folder where we can keep all of our forms in one place. Now, the rest of the activities are basically the same in the first unit. We don't do the team building exercise that's recommended in the FEMA manual, just because we can't get the equipment necessary, the materials to do the construction of the tower. But I have created another exercise later on when we're talking about survival kits and emergency kits. What we do, particularly with the young people, is we have a couple of small toolboxes. We divide them into maybe 2 groups, and every group will have to choose from these cards. It's a list of items, obviously these are all in Portuguese, that may or may not be part of a basic survival or emergency kit. So we get them as a group to discuss among themselves what would and wouldn't go inside that box. Now when we're working with the teenagers, we'll say that the group that made the best effort and got the most points will win a box of chocolates. We'll actually make sure we have a box of chocolates for both of the groups. And we discuss later what would or wouldn't go inside the kit. And there are actually a number of options. Some things they could have their own reasons as to why they included or didn't include that item. So that's an activity that not only gets our young people, when we're doing teen CERT, working as a team, but it also teaches them a little about what could be required to place inside a emergency or a survival kit. I think that's basically the modifications that we've made in Unit 1. Thanks.